Welcome back to Iowa Speedway in the Atlas 150, race number 12 of the ARCA Menards Series here in 2025 as they roll off. Race breaks coming up at lap 50 as well as lap number 100. And the General Tire Pole Award was won today by the number 18 car of Brent Cruz.
We talk about being a track record. Not only is that a track record for ARCA, that's the fastest lap that a stock car has ever run here at Iowa Speedway. The trucks have had a faster pole, fastest lap by a car here.
Yeah, that's impressive because I've been around this place pretty fast before. That tells me that the patch that they put into this place is really coming to its own. Got a lot of grip, and man, that's a fast race car with a fast driver.
Man, this is always one of my favorite racetracks. Of course, the Indy guys run a doubleheader here every season. We saw Pato O'Ward as well as Alex Palou get one of his 8 wins this season coming at Iowa last month.
Pole for those guys was 188 miles an hour.
So
that's why this is the fastest short
Phil,
track
don't have to tell everybody.
on the world.
Well, you've led 376 laps, ranking 4th all time in the Xfinity Series on this track, Austin.
Yeah, it's a comfortable place. I don't know. I've gotten a lot of laps there. When I was in my development stage, we had to go there and do some testing. But these guys are going to have a lot of testing to do tonight against each other.
Starting lineup, and it is Brent Cruz on the pole, Brendan Queen on the outside of row 1. Row 2 will be Lawless Allen and LeVar Scott, Phil.
Yeah, Chris Wright is actually back in the ARCA Series. He ran the early part of the season in the Xfinity Series, back for first of 3 races with the Venturinis.
This is an ARCA E Series race as well. And Tyler Reif, who's on row 5, begins the night in 2nd place in the ARCA East standings. Isaac Kitzmiller and his dad, Jason Kitzmiller, row 6. 3 weeks in a row racing against each other. Isaac has won the first 2 rounds in this battle.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. If I ever had to race against my dad, I feel like it would be tough going home, especially having to deal with mom afterwards. But, you know, good luck to Isaac. I'm going with him.
You see the rest of the field here at Iowa Speedway for the Atlas 150 on a perfect night as they roll off and get set to do it here for the final time before they drop the green flag. We go down pit road once again and begin with Caitlin.
Well, guys, you referenced it, the fact that the father-son duo of the Kitzmillers is once again in the field, and I had a chance to talk with Jason about how proud he is of his son, what he's been able to achieve and do so far this season, given his age and his experience. But he said after the races, we debrief together, we try to make each other better and share all of our notes. He said, I'm living out a dream, racing with my son, but all focus right now is on that East Side Championship standings that Isaac currently leads with just 2 races remaining on the East Side. Amanda?
Well, you guys come right along here with me, Phil Parsons. This is one for you. Who can add to the discussion between the 18 and the 28? Well, the guy that wants to do that tonight is the 20 of Lawless Allen. He comes off of that runner-up finish at IRP and will start 3rd tonight right behind the guys that he is chasing. But the guy I have my eyes on tonight is Iowa native Mason Mitchell. For the 4th time we see him tonight. He started his career here in 2012, would get the championship in 2014. And would come here the next season and win at his home track. He kicked off yesterday with a pre-party hosting up to 50 people, friends, family, but he also had Kyle Larson's spotter, Tyler Mon, who was with him during his 2014 title contention. He'll be with him on the spotter stand tonight, guys.
All right, Caitlin, Amanda, well done on pit road. And for Mason Mitchell, his 4th start of the season, he was 3rd at Kansas, 7th at Berlin, and then at IRP last week finished in 15th. About to go green here at Iowa Speedway. One of the most anticipated races on the circuit. Race number 12 of 20 here in the ARCA Menards Series season. Only 1 off week remaining until this thing goes all the way through early October. So it really does start to bunch up and become the stretch run here in the ARCA Menards Series on FS1. The fastest short track on the planet, Brent Cruz chooses the outside. He's the pole sitter. The 28 of Butterbean Queen on the inside, off turn 4. Green flag in the air, and we are underway here in Iowa. Butterbean with a good launch on the bottom, and he slides out front and goes right to the point. The points leader gunning for his 5th win of the season. Here tonight, Butterbean Queen in the lead.
Yeah, great restart from Butterbean there. You know, he was ready to go. He fired really hard in the restart zone. as you can see, this transition from the old pavement to the new pavement is really unique for us, and in trying to make your car good until you get to the grip is something that everybody fights with.
And it was so much easier last year to see that because that new part of the racetrack was as black as could be. It's amazing how much grayer that is now, which you would think that would mean that they lost a lot of grip, but we talked about the qualifying speeds way, way up there.
Yeah, the discoloration is wild to me, but you know, the grip is obviously there, and they're going to fight to get to it as fast as possible with this big arc that you see into the corner here at Iowa.
Good little bump getting in turn one, it looked like, as he turned off the wall.
It is rough. You want to really work on your shocks, dial them in, make sure you can get across the bumps, but the person that can make the big arc there, really getting down to that bottom, hooking that line, you can see the guys right now fighting to get as low as possible to create as much angle as you can.
Get that thing turned going the other direction.
Exactly.
Austin, how about this start for the 28 car of Butterbean?
Yeah, I think he just sent it into turn one, really. He's about a half car length back on Brent, and he felt pretty good about wherever his air pressure was because he kind of just drove it in there and made it stick. He got the dirty air on the 18, kind of washed him up the track there and off the races.
He's got an early 1 second lead, working lap number 5 against scheduled race breaks at lap 50 and 100. 4 wins, 9 top 5s for Brendan Queen, leads in points. This the 8th race this season that he has led at least a lap, most among all drivers in the ARCA Menards Series.
What's surprising to me is that Butterbean has not won on a short track this year. I mean, that's his breadhouse, his wheelhouse. He won the Cars Tour Championship, which is all short track races last year, and all the 4 of the wins has come from a mile and above.
Yeah, when you think of Butterbean, you think of a short track specialist, and man, this is hard for me to sometimes think of this place as a short track. It is one of the fastest short tracks we go to. Allows you to get away with certain things that you probably don't at other short tracks, with tire degradation being a factor, but Butterbean, he came to play today at this short track.
Probably speeds of 155, maybe 160 miles an hour down the straightaways. There's Chris Wright, that 15 car. We mentioned him back in the ARCA Series this year. He ran the full season last year with the Venturinis, finished 3rd in points, had a great season.
It's always impressive to me to see someone who goes and gets a little experience in a higher series, come back, like he's run a lot of races in the Xfinity Series, and then go to ARCA and see what he's got when he comes down to play with the ARCA guys.
See, Isaac Kitzmiller, that's the 79, the East Series points leader. Again, when we talk about the East Series and the National Series, there's a series within the series. There's 8 races, many of those races combination races like this one is here. And the winner will get a credit for a win in the National Series as well as the East Series, but they have their own separate points, and Isaac Kitzmiller right there is our point leader.
16 years of age from Maysville, West Virginia, leading his father, Jason Kitzmiller. So he's got the lead in the East, Isaac does, followed by Tyler Wright, who begins the night in 2nd place in the East.
You know, as we start to click off some laps here, it'll be interesting to see, you know, Butterbean jumped out to an early lead. Did he have higher air pressures to get that lead? And will the 18 start to run him down as we get more laps on tires?
18 car, the fastest lap on the racetrack that time.
Yeah.
So the lead was about a second. Now it's down to 5/10 for Brendan Queen. On Brent Cruz, it was Butterbean 2 weeks ago winning at Dover. Then Brent Cruz, who ended that race early on fire in a scary-looking scene, bounced back and won at IRP last week in the 18 car.
That's good to see right there that as they pass those lap cars, start to move up the track, move that line up just a little bit. I know in the Cup race last year, we were running right on the edge of that patch. We were using all the track we could.
You had a top 20 finish in the Cup Series race last year, and again back in 2010, you won the Truck Series here at Iowa race.
Yeah, that 18 car is coming right now.
Yeah.
He gained 3/10 that lap, maybe some of that due to traffic, but he's had the fastest car on the racetrack the last 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, I would assume Butterbean's crew chief said, hey, let's go get the lead here, see if we can manage out front. The 18's been able to run him back down. Probably just a lower air pressure than the 28, and he's making a little bit of hay right now.
Working lap 13 of the Atlas 150 here on FS1. 3/10 of a second lead, the 28 of Butterbean Queen on the 18 of Cruz. This has been the rivalry all season long here in this series. LeVar Scott a distant third, then Lawless Allen and Isabella Robusto.
It seems like all we do is talk about this 28 and the 18, but they deserve it. These guys have been so good. You know, we talk about Butterbean winning 4 races for Pinnacle Racing Group. Well, Austin Green won Charlotte in their second car, so they've actually won 5 of our 11 races this year, and that 18 car has won 3.
Pretty impressive. And the 18, when Brent Cruz is at the wheel, won at Phoenix back in March and then again last week. So 2 wins for Brent Cruz here in the National Series this season.
Yeah, as this race starts to tighten up, you can see the 18 searching just a little bit to try and get a little clean air on the nose here and there. It'll be interesting if he can go a whole lane up above the 28. I'd like to see him try that here in a minute, because eventually the advantage you have with the lower air pressure is just going to go away and you get heated up, and the 28 is starting to slide a little bit here.
Heavy lap traffic in front of these cars.
Yeah, that starts to force you to do things that you're, not having to do in clean track, and you might find something while doing that. That's a big arc from the 28. That's about as high as anybody's been today, I feel like. And
that's close to the 3rd lane there, wasn't it?
That's getting up there. That's what you want to see, is the track is rubbering in.
We talk about it all the time, excuse me, Brent, but the design of this racetrack, we have to give our buddy Rusty Wallace a lot of credit for the design of this racetrack. A little bit of progressive banking, that's what lends itself to have that 2nd and 3rd lane come in. But just a fantastic job with this racetrack.
Through the lap traffic, that 18 of Cruz running very fast laps, trying to get to the bumper of Brendan Queen. Queen has led them all so far, working lap 18.
What I love about this place is you see the guy just fighting the wheel. The exit of the corner, entry of the corner. You're always finding speed with the tire there, and this is getting rough right here. And the 18's got a shot.
Got a shot, gets to the bottom in lap traffic, trying to get around the 97, and getting pinned in is the 28. And to the point goes Brent Cruz for the first time tonight, as he's able to wrap the bottom and get to the front.
And that's so frustrating. As the leader, you pile in behind a bunch of guys racing for position. Oh, there's the caution too.
Caution for the 7, which spins, and that's Cadence Davenport, 21-year-old young lady from nearby Slater, Iowa. She was running 20th, gets turned around right after Brent Cruz takes the lead for the first time.
Yeah, that was Isaac Kitzmiller. Excuse me, that was Jason Kitzmiller that was involved in that heavy traffic right there. What a tremendous pace these 2 cars are setting. That was the 13th place running, Jason Kitzmiller.
Yeah, we weren't messing around. When that green flag dropped, we were going to the front.
It was Butterbean Queen for the early portion of the race, but moments ago, Cruz takes advantage of the lap traffic as the 7 of Davenport brings out caution number 1 tonight. The 18 car, Brent Cruz, who won last week at IRP, is in front of the Atlas 150 early on here in Iowa. Here is a Reese's Sweet Move of the race, and it happened moments ago before the caution fill came out. The 18 Cruz was able to get around Butterbean Queen.
Yeah, there was a side-by-side battle between Tim Richmond and the 27 and the 97 of Jason Kitzmiller. They move up the racetrack. The 28 moves up the racetrack a little bit, leaves that bottom open. The 28 gets seized in behind the 97, and the 18 takes advantage. Great move by Brent Cruz.
Visit ARCARacing.com Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern to see who's crowned Reese's Sweet Move of the race.
Man, I reckon that Butterbean probably wants to give both those guys a Reese's after that.
Do we need to get you some Reese's? I know at Talladega
love
last
Reese's.
race I did with you.
I'm a big fan. I have a little bit of a sweet tooth. I want to see if the 28 can take the lead back from the outside here. He was able to do it from the bottom. Now Brent has chose the bottom. Let's see.
Off turn 4 they come. Green flag back in the air here in the Atlas 150. A good launch for the 18 of Cruz.
We talk about it all the time, Austin. It's such an advantage to be the guy that does the launch. Brent Cruz able to do it extremely well here and get a car length and a half over Butterbean.
Yeah, LeVar Scott was an aggressive move there trying to get the 2nd.
How about Isabella now inside that 6th of LeVar Scott in that battle for 3rd?
3. It's a good running spot. She ran good when I was in the booth with you guys at Talladega.
She did. Finished 3rd. Yeah.
Highest ever finish in the ARCA Menards Series for a female.
At Talladega, yeah.
Wallace Allen rounds out the top 5. As you see the onboard of Mason Mitchell, the General Tire onboard, as he looks to get to the bumper of Allen.
I like to look at different race cars. That is a clean-looking race car. You see, he had an all-white helmet, really just clean, that race car right there. Usually that relates to speed, I feel like.
You're right. Mason Mitchell, of course, a little over a decade ago, won this series, and another caution as spinning there and getting up into the wall as the 15 of Chris Wright was running just inside the top 10.
You see a good bit of damage to that car, the right rear especially.
That one has got a lot of damage.
Right front is down, obviously a lot of damage. That might not be terminal, but certainly going to take Chris Wright out of contention here.
Well, you talked about the frustrations he had when he took the step up to the Xfinity Series. Things did not go nearly what they had hoped for, and now coming back down to the ARCA Menards Series, trying to make some things happen.
On the inside, going to move up the racetrack in front of Sam Corey. Just wasn't clear. Yep. Really no reason for him to move up there, but unfortunately Sam was there. Sam's going to have a minimal damage in that 70 car, but good bit of damage for the 15 of Chris Wright.
Yeah, just kind of putting yourself in a bad position there, trying to take too much. I will say off of turn 4, there are a lot of accidents at Iowa. I think that the patch is starting to play into that a little bit as well, because you're going from grip to no grip. He's just trying to use the whole track, and he didn't have the whole track.
And one of the hardest places for the spotters, too, when you're right in front of them, too. It's a little harder to see than when you have a little bit of angle.
Yeah, I gave my dad a little ration one time. He was spotting for Brandon Jones and cleared him up. Similar situation.
In front of you?
No, not in front of me. I wasn't in the race, but I think he got the same amount of damage as Chris Wright.
A lot of damage to that 15 as Cruz continues to lead. Our second caution of the night, lap number 29. What a difference a week makes for Brent Cruz.
That is Brent Cruz. Hard contact. Watch that right front tire go. Absolutely nothing Brent could do about it.
Brent Cruz looking for the lead at IRP.
And he's going to do it here. He's going to be clear on exit.
Brent Cruz for Joe Gibbs Racing takes the checkered flag at IRP. Boy, you drivers have to have short memories, and we just saw a good example of that right there with Brent Cruz.
For sure. I mean, I'm very fortunate in the Cup Series. We race every weekend, and it's a short period from the next when you have a bad weekend, and you just try and forget it and move on, and look what happens when you do. Brent Cruz goes to victory lane, and he's leading this week at Iowa.
Yeah, Dover is a place that I think the 18 car would just as soon forget about. I mean, in their last 50 races, they finished in the top 5 over 40 times. 3 of those times they didn't were at Dover.
All right, back down to pit road, and Amanda.
Well, LeVar Scott comes into this race off of this 5th place finish in IRP. You talk about short memories. He's still caught up on that one. Said he kept losing track position, but bouncing back here today, running in the 3rd position. Said that his race car is loose on entry, tight on exit, and needs more stability. But I caught up with him after practice, and I saw him give a fist bump to his crew chief, Glenn Parker, and he said, "I like my race car tonight. This is the closest we've been all season, Caitlin."
Yeah, Amanda, looking at the 79 of Isaac Kitzmiller, a lot of anticipation with him as the leader in the points of the East standings. And listening into his radio, he said, "I'm starting to get a vibration under braking, so we will continue to monitor that situation for the 79, guys."
Isaac was 4th at Dover 2 weeks ago, then 7th at IRP 1 week ago for the 16-year-old.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because he's getting a little brake shake possibly. And remember, the cooler temperatures we've talked about, it's 20 degrees cooler than it was at Indianapolis for that race at IRP. Sometimes the brakes can get too cool, and that will cause a vibration. Isn't that right, Austin?
Yeah, they start to knock, and you got to get the heat in them. So right now, the best thing he can do is drag those brakes, put some heat in them, try and get them to heat up, and they'll start acting better. It is frustrating as a driver when you've got any kind of brake issue. My crew chief hears it from me all the time. So I do not like to have brake issues, so I feel for him. But man, if his crew chief's doing the right thing, he's telling him, hey, drag these brakes, get some heat in them. That's all going to go away.
And maybe at the brake thing, put a little tape over the brake
And the cooler
ducks.
temperatures, like you said, is really where you got to be careful of that. You start to open up. Some people will open up the brake tape, and that's the wrong thing to do. You got to tape it up.
74 degrees when this race began. We talk about the 16-year-old Isaac Kitzmiller. This has been a really cool couple of weeks for Isaac and his dad, Jason. And Isaac already has beaten him the first 2 times the last 2 weeks, and 77 points for the youngster.
Yeah, and the thing about Jason is we've seen Jason in the ARCA series for 3 or 4 years, but he never ran the full schedule. This is the year that he decided to run the full schedule to have 10-time champion Frank Kimmel calling the shots for this team. So a lot of these places, you know, Jason doesn't have any more experience than Isaac does because neither one of them have ever been here. So both of these drivers doing a good job.
Well, I just got a text message from my old dad, and he said he was clear when I cleared him. He waited too long. So I'm sorry, Dad.
Pretty good.
We'll have to talk to Brandon for the other side. Hopefully he's watching, gives us a text.
We're happy to have your dad watching. All right. Lap 32 of 150 here in the Atlas 150 at Iowa Speedway. And Brent Cruz, last week's winner, gunning for his 3rd win of the season here tonight. All right, today's Rookie Spotlight, brought to you by Bounty, is the number 31 car of Quinn Davis, just 16 years of age, from Sparta, Tennessee, driving tonight for Rise Motorsports. Quinn, one of a handful of women. We had 6 women in the race last week, handful of women in tonight's race as well, and you see some of the things that she's been able to accomplish at a very young age.
Yeah, did a nice job at Elko in her debut, finished 11th, just outside the top 10. She actually ran the East race at the Nashville Fairgrounds earlier this year and had a top 10 finish there, so very talented 16-year-old from Tennessee.
And Caitlin has more on Quinn.
Well, Phil, you mentioned 16 years old. She actually told me earlier today she's missing her first day of school out there at White County High School to be at this race. She goes, I don't think I'm my principal's most favorite student because I am obviously prioritizing racing. But she said she started at just 5 years old. Some of the drivers she's hoping to emulate are Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch. She said she loved their driving style. She thinks she has a similar attitude as well to Kyle. But she was just a small run organization. Her parents, it was a 3-man show getting her to the racetrack. But she is taking these opportunities and trying to make the most of them, guys.
I'm just glad I didn't go to school in Tennessee because I don't think I could have taken starting school August 1st.
August 1st. It's crazy.
I was more impressed with the Kyle Busch attitude.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I'm ready to see that.
Quinn Davis.
That's hard to emulate.
Mentioned 6 female drivers last week. Quinn Davis, one of 4 females here tonight.
That was Mason Mitchell's on board for this restart.
Back under green to the 18 of Cruz. Another great launch on the restart.
Definitely seems like that bottom line has a little more grip getting going here. Tough for the outside line to keep up. You know, row 2 is actually getting side by side with the outside pole sitter.
How about Lawless Allen trying to grab that 3rd spot from LeVar Scott?
Lawless Allen finished runner-up last week. Looking for his first win since Talladega here tonight. Slides into 4th at the bumper of LeVar Scott.
Good side-by-side battle here. Isabella on the inside the 55. She gets a little bit loose. Mason Mitchell moves up the racetrack to give her room and grabs that spot.
You can start to see these guys and gals slip around a lot on exit of the corner. The rear tires are starting to give up a little bit. 35 laps into a run. They can't put tires on to lap 50, so it's going to get interesting at the end of this stage here.
The battle that you talked about for 3rd here, Phil. Lawless Allen and LeVar Scott. Remember, Scott had 16 straight top 10s before Dover. Blew a tire early, ended up 11th, but then bounced back with a good run, finishing 5th at IRP.
Always consistently in the top 10, if not the top 5. Our runner-up last year in points to Andres Perez, his teammate. A couple second-place finishes last year, knocking on the door of that victory.
10 top 10s, almost got it done at Elko, and he says he still has a lot of sleepless nights over that Elko race now more than a year ago. That 3-wide finish, he came up just short as Sawalich won it.
He did a great job in his Xfinity start at Dover as well. Watching
I thought so too, yeah,
make
for sure.
That debut, and I saw how excited he was when he qualified for that race, and it shows you his passion for the sport.
Because he had to qualify on time too. That car did not have a lot of points, so There was a lot of pressure on him, and you could see the relief after qualified.
It was cool.
Working lap number 38. It's Brent Cruz by just over a second on Brendan Queen. LeVar Scott here in the 6 car runs third. Lawless Allen in that blue number 20 runs fourth.
Just over 10 laps away from our first race break. Gives these crew chiefs an opportunity to work on these cars. That was an incredibly fast lap that Brent Cruz ran just now. He just ran a 23.60 the lap prior to this. That was about a half a second faster than our second place running Butterbean Queen.
Yeah, if you go back to the start of the race when we talked about those air pressure, I have a feeling his crew chief started a little lower than what Butterbeans did, and they're learning right now, and those guys will probably come in and make an adjustment to try and keep up with the 18 on the long run.
I was talking to crew chief Matt Ross today, and he talked about the fact that this car finished second the last 2 years, and I said, is it, you know, do you want a little bit of redemption or whatever? He said, well, he said, last year I understand. We just got beat by a better car last year. He said, but the one that really hurt was when we lost that race to Luke Fenhaus. Dominated the race, and Luke Fenhaus took the lead on a late restart with just a couple laps to go. There's Matt Ross right there.
He does a great job with these young drivers, right? Because it's not the same guy every week. He gets Sawallich. He gets, obviously, Max, who won at Elko, or had a great race at Elko, won it.
Yeah.
And then Brent Cruz from time to time. The lead is 1.2 seconds for Brent Cruz on the 28 of Queen. On or around lap 50 is our first scheduled race break, a controlled pit stop.
These teams will have 5 minutes to make some adjustments, change tires, put fuel in. And again, this weekend, these teams had 14 tires for the day. And if they use 4 up in practice, then that would mean they would only be able to put 2 tires on one of these pit stops, and they would all do it on this first pit stop. If you saved those tires in practice, didn't put that many laps on them, I was wondering if teams would put tires on, left side tires that maybe they practiced on earlier today with only 20 laps on them, because we know these tires are going to have over 40 laps on them, talking about green flag laps.
Yeah, and sometimes with the new pavement and stuff, as the rubber's laying down early on, it's okay to scuff a set to try and see what you got. But man, when you leave that patch right there, it is really hard on the tire. I mean, you're losing grip as you go. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if some of those guys put some of those cycle tires on from practice to save a set for later in the race.
Scott started fourth. He's up to third in the 6 car. Lawless Allen running fourth, and then Mason Mitchell and Isabella Robusto.
The battle for the East points is close. Isaac Kitzmiller leads Tyler Reif, and they're running 7th and 8th right now.
Seem to find each other every week.
Just about every week, for sure.
Lawless has really impressed you all season long, I know.
He really has. He ran the full season, as we see Isabella trying to get underneath her teammate Mason Mitchell in that battle for 5th. But he ran the full truck schedule last year. Had a couple good runs. Had his top 5 at Talladega. But this year he's been on it. Every single race he's been good. He had 3rd place finishes in a row before he had trouble at Dover as well. And then came back with that runner-up finish at IRP last week.
He blew a tire. He and Cruz and LeVar Scott all had early trouble at Dover. And that led to the domination by Brent Cruz 2 weeks ago.
This is a heck of a battle right here.
Yeah, Brendan Queen 2 weeks ago.
Isabella's getting a great run off of turn 4. She gets down very low right around the white line, but it is tough sometimes coming out of that hole. The momentum from the top just keeps that momentum up enough where you can't get to exactly where you want to be. Hey, there's Eloy Falcon right there in 10th.
Yeah, Eloy's doing a nice job right behind Reif in the 23.
Eloy Falcon, that 2nd car for Rev Racing from Mexico City, Mexico, 20 years of age. In that Chevrolet with Derek Peebles, his crew chief tonight.
He runs full-time in the NASCAR Mexico Series. He actually has qualified for their playoffs, which start, I believe, in the August 10th at San Luis Potosi. This is going to be their first race of their playoffs.
And Isabella's got a shot here to get that position back on Mason.
Door to door, the 55, trying to get to the bottom of the 25 of Mason Mitchell, and there she goes. A good run. And Isabella Robusto does complete the pass, and the caution comes out. The scheduled race break Our first of 2 here tonight. And our third caution of the race comes at lap 51 here in the Atlas 150.
That was a big pass for Isabella, because that will put her on the inside row 3 for the restart.
She did a good job being patient there. I mean, you get impatient and you can really upset your tires down there at the bottom of the track, and she did a good job just making sure that she put herself in a good position to get by Mason.
Well, you were monitoring that attempted pass for several laps, and right before the caution flag flew, the 55 of Robusto gets it done with a nice run here. Pit stops when we come back to Iowa. ARCA Racing on FS1 is brought to you by General Tire, hashtag GT Delivers, and by Reese's. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Reese's, not sorry. Beautiful fields of Iowa, 74 degrees, sunshine. Picture perfect weather for a fun weekend of NASCAR racing, and our first scheduled race break of the night. We go down to pit road and begin with Caitlin. Amanda.
Hey, Brent, yeah, pit stops are well underway here, down here at Iowa Speedway. We're going to take a look at the 20 of Lawless Allen. The team elected to start with fuel for these pit stops. You start with fuel and finish with tires, or you can do tires and then to fuel. As you can see, they're going to make a few adjustments on that 20. Lawless was telling his team, I can't attack on entry more than I already am. During that race, he was adjusting his braking points into turn 1 and just trying to create rhythm out there. His crew chief telling him, just put lap after lap and see how we can make these adjustments to the second half. As we move over to the 6 of LeVar Scott, LeVar was told to stay in third there. They want him to restart on the inside row as we get going in this next part of this race, so they'll be happy with that. But the 6 telling them that he was loose on entry. They're going to make a small shock adjustment and some air pressure. Caitlin?
Well, let's take a look at the 28 of Butterbean, 4-time winner so far this year. Just had a chance to check in with his crew chief, Stephen Dawson. He said the feedback was, it's hard to wrap the corner late and keep speed. If I change my entry, I just can't catch it. So I asked, what is the adjustment call? He said, we're going to raise the track bar on the 28. And what about the race leader, Brent Cruz? Spoke with him earlier about a focus he has for this season. He said, staying confident when learning new things and new racetracks, and it seems like he is doing just that. Right now, the feedback to his team was good on entry, fighting a little tight, about a 2.5 to a 2 tight on that 18 machine. Guys?
All right, Caitlin and Amanda, thank you so much. 5 minutes, chance to make adjustments, change tires, fill it full of fuel. Cruz has got the lead on the points leader of Brendan Queen here at Iowa Speedway, the fastest short track on the planet. Well, we talked about you winning in the trucks here.
I know. I'm getting text message from all of my family members, and that was in 2010. And my little brother reminded me in 2011 that he won the ARCA race. So pretty cool. I think my dad did a good job with drivers for Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, he did.
Just not a good job spotting? Is that what you were saying?
Maybe.
He's going to text you again, isn't he?
Yeah, I got a text message.
He might text me. He might text me.
I got a text message from one of our guys. I think you can get the audio where he apologized while he was still wrecking.
Austin's getting us a lot, single-handedly getting us a lot of viewers tonight. Everybody in the family.
More than likely 2 new tires on the right side for probably all these teams.
Brent Cruz, the control car, takes the bottom. Back under green here in Iowa, starting the second, third of this race in the Atlas 150.
Solid restart by Butterbean right there. Let's see if he can hang in. Oh, he's got a spinner.
LeVar Scott turned around in the corner, and he's able to avoid oncoming traffic. Doesn't look like there's any damage to the car, but the 6 gets spun around on the restart.
You see the letters are gone from the right front tire, so there was obviously some contact with LeVar and somebody. We'll have to see who was leading at the time of caution at the most recent loop. that they crossed over. Watch that 6 on the inside. You see the 20, the blue and black 20 of Lawless Allen is the contact right there. I don't know that there was contact before. Looked like LeVar maybe lost a little bit of air off the spoiler.
Yeah, earlier in a previous restart, LeVar started on the bottom and slid a long ways. I think he's just free getting going there, and he had to use a little more track than he needed, and the 28 was just there.
You saw obviously the 28 of Butterbean was ahead at that moment, but again, they will revert back to the previous scoring loop to determine who was leading at the time of caution.
Yeah, Butterbean's doing a good job getting through the gears. Had a little help from Lawless Allen, pushing him down the front straight. 28 is the leader. That'll be cool. It'll be interesting if he chooses the bottom. I figure he will.
I got to believe he goes to the bottom after all these restarts.
Yeah, it looks like an advantage for sure right now.
This is the first restart tonight that the outside lane did get the lead. I went back and watched the telecast last year, Phil, and predominantly they were going outside lane as well. And I think maybe that was a little bit surprising to you guys.
It was a little bit surprising, but I think maybe, you know, the newer asphalt, the asphalt was brand new then. That was the first time on the asphalt, so maybe that outside was a little bit better. But again, it's such an advantage for the guy that makes the launch, like the guy, and he's been on the inside here just about every time the inside has prevailed on these restarts. The initial start, Butterbean was able to prevail over our pole sitter, Brent Cruz.
Yeah, Butterbean's doing a good job getting that start, getting that jump. He's got to get to the lead and do a very good job of lap traffic, you know. Lap traffic lost in the lead. In this second portion of the race, we'll see how he does to navigate it and keep himself out front. Got a text message from my good buddy Mamba. He's tuned in for the comedy so far, so thanks, Mamba, for tuning in.
We like Mamba.
I think Butterbean likes that lead. And again, we see the choose cone, but that's for the 3 National Series of NASCAR. The only person that has an option in the ARCA Menards Series is the leader. He can go inside or outside. Everybody else has to line up in the position they're running.
Interesting.
Is there another car either you guys see besides the 18 or the 28 when you're talking about when the dust settles here tonight?
He chose the top.
I don't think so. I don't think so. As Austin just pointed out, Butterbean took the top of the racetrack.
Why do you think?
Well, he remembers last year as well when the outside prevails, like you were talking about, Brent. So it's going to be interesting. Again, the initial launch is where the huge advantage is, and we'll see if Butterbean can make that, because we saw Brent Cruz able to clear Butterbean a couple of those restarts by the time they got to turn 1.
Yeah, and he gets to control the race now, so we'll see if that makes the difference for the top, and see how Isabella does a good job here, if she can give him that extra push down the front stretch.
And they're going for the restart line. No restart zone here in ARCA.
The 28 controls it. Butterbean Queen back under green here in Iowa.
Nice push by Isabella, like you were talking about, Austin, but Brent Cruz is right there. Oh, gets loose!
Sideways for Cruz, and back to the point is the 28 of Brendan Queen.
That was a heck of a save by Brent Cruz there. He was really going for everything right there, trying to keep side by side with Butterbean, but it gives him a big lead right here. We'll see how long he can stretch it out.
We saw the 18 of Cruz fight back and grab the second spot from Lawless Allen, or hold on to the second spot, I should say.
So Allen settles back in third. Isabella Robusto fourth, and Mason Mitchell rounds out the top 5.
How about the 23 of Tyler Reif and the 79 of Kitzmiller side by side for a moment? That is the battle for the East Series point lead. Give that spot to Tyler Reif now.
So Reif, for the first time tonight, is in front of Isaac Kitzmiller. Caution out, 4th of the night. You see Tim Richmond pulled down on the apron in the 27 car. And the 7, once again, Davenport spins. She was running in 20th.
I think she was running 20th the first time.
That's right.
That she spun, but fortunately no damage. You can see her getting her car turned around.
Consistency is key.
You see Regina Servant, that red number 68 car, go by. She's doing a really nice job here on the lead lap, running in the 13th spot for that young lady.
Well, how about a Reese's Sweet move of the race, our second one of the night, and it features the 18. The last time it was the 18 making a pass for the lead. This time, Phil, it was that save moments ago.
Yeah, I think he would rather win this award for that pass for the lead, but see hard down in the corner. You see he's going to get loose right here. Really does a nice job not getting into the 28 car.
Yeah, I mean,
or spinning out.
That was about as far as you can take it there, and he did a good job bringing it back and keeping things going forward. He probably has a Reese's in his suit after that. So.
Visit ARCARacing.com Monday 3 Eastern. See his crown Reese's sweet move in the race. Caution 5.
You saw Isabella do a nice job when he got sideways to back off and give him some room to get it straight.
All right, Amanda on pit road.
You guys were just talking about Isabella Robusto. I was talking to her about where she is in this race car. It was a tough start for her, but said it's really been a turnaround in these last couple of races. She credits that to 5 races in a row with her new crew chief, and Danny Johnson said that they just speak the same language. But you guys were talking about the 18 and the 28 and who else can be out there. Well, Isabella was just kind of frank with me and said, we all know that we're racing for third out here. If something happens to the 18 or 28, we need to be in position to take advantage of it. On that last stop, Isabella took 2 tires. She'll have 4 sticker tires for the last stint, Caitlin.
Yeah, Amanda, well, you mentioned the leaders. Let's talk about Butterbean for a moment. On the radio, he said, when I shift from first to second, it's like I lose RPMs and it's hard to get going. So it's a good thing I had a good pusher. Now, on the other side of that, Brent Cruz, we saw him losing ground as spotter Tony Hirschman saying, don't overdrive it. Settle into your marks and your rhythm. You're way better on the long run. Just don't put yourself in a bad spot if you know you are free. So Austin and Phil, what exactly does that feedback mean from the spotter there?
Yeah, I think for the 18, you know, if you're free and you're pushing too hard early, it's only going to get more free as the tire pressure builds. So I think as his car comes up temperature-wise, he's going to get a better driving race car, and he can be patient with it. He's got the fastest car. He showed that at the end of stage 1. It's just always, as a driver, you want to get that clean air as fast as possible. But if you can trust that your car's fast enough to get back up there, take the lead from the 28, you're going to be better long term.
How about that 70 is Sam Corey, the 17-year-old from Chicago.
Yeah, he's a winner this year in the TA2 series of Trans Am. He lives 1 mile from me in Cornelius, North Carolina. Really doing a fine job here.
Really good job, just outside the top 5. Back up to speed and under green, lap 66.
Looks like Butterbean got through the gears a little better that time. He shot out of a cannon here.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he was talking about, losing RPMs and momentum on his 1-2 shift.
Yeah, I'm impressed that they're shifting from first to second on these restarts.
And normally I would have thought they'd have been second gear.
Right.
28 Chevrolet Pinnacle Racing Group. Back to the point, Butterbean Queen, the points leader, looking for his 5th win of the season here on lap 67. Our next scheduled race break on around lap 100.
It's amazing once you get out front here. Good battle between the 79 of Kitzmiller and LeVar Scott. LeVar's rebounding nicely from that spin earlier. This is a battle for the 8th position.
And you got Tyler Reif, who began the night in the East Series, 2nd place in the standings behind Isaac Kitzmiller. And right now, Tyler is in 6th and Kitzmiller is in 9th.
Yeah, they're separated by 14 points coming into this race, with only 2 remaining, as Caitlin told us at the top of the show.
Yeah, really tight battle there. And LeVar's doing a good job. You know, usually when you spin like that, it's tough on the tires. It's tough to be confident in what you got underneath you. But he's working his way back up through the field here, almost back into the same spot he was running before for the spin.
Yeah, chasing down the 25 of Mason Mitchell. There's Mason right there, the white number 25. Hometown race from nearby Des Moines, Iowa, for Mason Mitchell.
31 years of age, running for Venturini, making his 4th start of the season here tonight. Again, his last win was at Kansas in 2015. He won this series 11 seasons ago.
Right along the General Tire onboard of Mason Mitchell. You know, once Mason won the championship back in the ARCA Series, then he backed out of full-time driving, was fielding cars for other people. He actually won 4 races as an owner in addition to the 3 races he won as a driver. So he knows the ins and outs of these race cars for sure.
The 11 of Zachary Tinkle, running top 10 right now. Caitlin with more on him.
Yeah, guys, had a chance to talk with him for a while. He said that he feels like this year as a whole has gone really decent from what he realistically expected. He said, we're running with less than a fifth of the budget that other teams have. He said his point position also he feels is better than he anticipated. But he told me it's been a huge motivator for him having the support of Andy Hillenberg, who has had a lot of loyalty to him. He said, putting me in the car without me bringing much money or funding to the table. He said he just wanted someone who could get it done. And he felt like Andy gave him a chance when many others wouldn't, guys.
Fast Track Racing Toyota, 23-year-old Zachary Tinkle from Speedway, Indiana.
Yeah, he's third in these series points. Really, certainly not out of contention at all yet.
Phil Potts spotting for him tonight. Told me to watch out for him. I feel like we need a T-shirt for old Tinkle Toes.
That would work. He was 9th at Dover, then 16th last week at IRP.
That red car we talked a few moments ago about, Regina Servant right now from Mexico City, really doing a fine job for the Kimmels here. Bill and Will Kimmel run that operation. We see Will driving that car on occasion. We had the pole at Charlotte till he lost an engine. Had a great run going, was leading the race. You see Kitzmiller trying to work to the inside of Tinkle in that battle for the 10th position.
8 top 10s for that 97 car this year for Jason Kitzmiller.
The Kitzmillers are getting closer together right here, running 9th and 11th. Be interesting if they battle it out at the end.
Again, Isaac, each of the first 2 rounds of this battle, the last 2 weeks, Isaac has gotten the better of his dad.
Great side-by-side battle. LeVar Scott, the 6 on the inside. Mason Mitchell, the 25 on the outside. That is a battle for the 7th spot. Looks like LeVar's going to be able to get it. We heard Mason Mitchell have to pedal the throttle there for a little bit, and that was just enough for LeVar Scott to get out ahead.
So the 6 clear of the 25, and the 6 in LeVar Scott back up to 7th. Well, let's take a look at the Richmond mid-race report. We've had 5 cautions so far. 2 different leaders. Butterbean Queen, who's got the advantage right now over the 18 of Brent Cruz. And 13 cars currently on the lead lap.
Yeah, that was a lot of cautions we had in the first half of the race. Obviously, one of those cautions was planned at the lap 50 break.
Yeah, and I'm surprised right now. I think this is the time where Butterbean started getting run down a little bit in that first stage. He's been able to hold off the battle from the 18 right here. As temperature is dropping as we go closer to nighttime, I wonder if his car starts to come to him a little bit more than Brent's, and there's going to be some adjustments made at this next stop.
And Stephen Dawson had an opportunity to work on this 28 car during that break too. Looks like he may have made that car a little bit better.
Able to get around the 27, put him a lap 10. Lap 80 here in the Atlas 150 at Iowa Speedway, with Queen in the lead on FS1. ARCA Racing on FS1 brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. And by Bounty. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. What a beautiful night. How about that 3? Nothing like seeing that 3. RC's ready to go, huh?
That'll be his perch tomorrow. He'll be tuned in, watching, and telling us what we did wrong or right.
You'll be doing double duty, filling in for Austin Hill in the 21 car in the Xfinity on Saturday, and then, of course, driving the 3 as always in the Cup Series Sunday. Brent Cruz running second behind Brendan Queen, and Brent Cruz made some big news today. He's going to be starting his own truck team, and Caitlin has more.
Yeah, it's going to be Brent Cruz Motorsports. So they announced that today. And the interesting thing about it is it's uniquely positioned as a driver-led team. A couple of his friends, names we know, Connor Zilich and Jesse Love, are going to be involved in the leadership side of this team. But I had an extensive conversation with Brent's parents today, talking about the relationship between Brent and Connor, saying that they just raise each other's level all the time when it comes to on-track performance. They keep getting better and better as a result of their relationship. They've been friends for many years. Connor spends a lot of time at the house with Brent during the week, but they said they wouldn't have the same kind of success they have if it weren't for each other, the support and input that they give. So Austin and Phil, have you ever had a driver like that just kind of elevated your game across the board?
For sure. I mean,
Yeah, I think so, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, RCR, I've watched so many guys come through the door and try and emulate certain things that they do well. And anytime you can learn from an elite driver, it's going to make you better.
Yeah, and early in my career, I had my brother to lean on and to try to emulate. Benny, who was a Hall of Fame driver, and then, you know, Harry Gant helped me a lot over the years. Dale Sr. helped me a lot over the years. Back in the Busch Series days, Sam Ard and Jack Ingram were big helps to me.
Davenport spins for the third time, 6th caution.
What position was she running?
I bet she was, okay,
Oh.
18th. Up a couple spots.
There you go.
Yeah, all the spin, other than Chris Wright making contact with the wall, I think all the spins we've had have resulted in no contact, so that's good.
It's a positive.
Butterbean was starting to reel a little bit there. They had run him in within a half a second. It'll be interesting. We fire back off. If we'll fire back off with his caution coming, we'll probably get a restart in.
Yeah, I would think so. The ARCA officials will try to get us a restart before that next race break, and I don't see any debris on the racetrack, so it should be a fairly quick look-see at the racetrack. Ooh, got a little bit of help there. Looked like that might have been Sam Corey in that 70 car, who's running 5th, doing a really nice job.
Yeah.
Great race for the 70 tonight. Trayton Lapsovich drove that 70 into victory lane a few weeks back.
Thomas Annunziato as well.
Ziad on the road course.
Two wins for that 70 car for Nitro Motorsports. Again, Nitro Motorsports and Venturini Motorsports now are essentially the same organization.
Kitzmiller, Jason gets the free pass once again in that 97 car. He runs in 10th. Cadence certainly had some help. Doesn't look like she's got any damage, so she'll continue on here in the 20th spot. Let's take a look at today's Suchi fast track driver. It's the number 23, and Phil, we've talked about him over the last couple of weeks, and that would be Tyler Reif.
Yeah, we talk about Tyler battling Isaac Kitzmiller for that East Series championship. Only 18 years old. He won in his ARCA National Series debut at Phoenix when he was 15 years old. You see right there in 2023, he had 2 West Series wins last year, and his team owner, Todd Souza, actually won the West Series Owners Championship by virtue of the year that Tyler Reif had.
Tyler Reif 3 weeks ago at Sonoma in the ARCA West finished 5th. Then he was 5th at Dover 2 weeks ago, and then last week had some issues and settled for 14th at IRP.
He's had a couple of runner-up finishes in the ARCA Series this year, in the East Series, I should say. And we talk about this is the next to the last race for the East Series. Their finale will be at Bristol. We saw last year that William Sawalich came in there a little bit of a deficit to Connor Zilich. Connor Zilich got hung up with a lap car while leading, and that gave that East Series championship to Sawalich last year.
Yeah, you love to see a battle for points come down to the last race, and looks like we're going to have that here.
Tyler Reif, 18 years of age, Henderson, Nevada, as he runs 8th in that Chevrolet.
Quick little restart here, Phil.
I'd like that, yeah.
We had one of those last week. A little sprint in between a caution and a scheduled race break, and looks like we'll get one here.
You got to do a really good job of cleaning up those tires. That many laps on tires, picked up rubber, cooling back down. See who did the best job getting their tires cleaned. Fire right here, because you got to keep the lead. Like this race is really tight between the 18 and the 28. And anytime you can keep that track position, it's going to pay off for you.
You know, one thing I didn't know till probably later in my career, at Sonoma one time I broke a drive plate and coasted down on the drag strip, and Elmo Langley was a pace car driver, so I just jumped in the pace car with Elmo. And the caution came out, so I'm riding with Elmo along with Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin, and the pace car gets a lot of rubber buildup on those tires as well.
You got to clean those things off.
Butterbean Queen from the outside, the control car.
Lawless Allen pushing hard here.
Nice push by the 20 of Lawless Allen. Brent Cruz is staying right there, though.
Cruz is right there at the bottom. Little sprint here before the next race break, but the 28 back to the point. Butterbean Queen. Cruz settles for second. Lawless Allen into third in that 20 car.
What a nice exit off of turn 2 for Butterbean that time.
It really was, and I think now that these guys have closed the gap to Butterbean and Brent Cruz, they've got a little something for them here. It's like their tires, well, I say that and they slide up the track, but Isabella's always been good at the end of this run. She passed a car at each of the end of these stages.
Got a little bit loose up off of 2, but stays with it, gets loose again.
Loose again, bumps towards for the 20 Lawless Allen. Good battle between Robusto and Allen as they go 3 wide.
Stay in the gas.
And everybody making contact.
We knew this little sprint would be good. We had one last week, and it was the same type of thing.
Rubbin's racing. Come on.
Isabella's going to try to fight back on her teammate, the 20 of Lawless Allen.
Good battle for third with LeVar Scott now back there in fifth in the 6.
Nice recovery by LeVar Scott from that spin earlier.
Yeah, all the way back to fifth from the spin. That's really good. I think that's exactly where he's running when he spun.
I think it was, yeah.
Right.
Third, fifth, right in that.
Yeah.
He found himself in a 3 wide. I don't think he was expecting a moment ago. The 18 is pulled tight with a 28, just 2/10 off. Here's lap 101. Haven't seen the scheduled caution yet.
Sometimes when you have a late restart, the officials will let them go a couple more laps beyond. Again, they say on or around lap 100, but here it is right here.
At 101.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a race here. The 28 really fires off well. He starts to fade at the end of these runs, right around lap 35 to 40, and that's when the 18 closes the gap. So it'll be interesting. These adjustments are going to be really important for both those teams to kind of get closer.
Second scheduled race break. The 55 got him 3 wide. She was sideways, but got clear of the 20 ultimately. She runs 4th. Caution here in Iowa. Tomorrow, a busy day in the Midwest kicks off with Xfinity practice and qualifying at 11 a.m. Eastern before the Stars of the Cup Series hit the track at 1:30 Eastern in Iowa. Busy day here for Austin coming up. Busy weekend. Do a triple duty if you count the broadcasting here tonight.
Which one's harder?
Which one? This one for sure. I hate showing my intelligence like this. All right, we'll send it down to the pits to Amanda.
There we go.
How about it?
Hey guys, you'll see work happening on the 55 of Isabella Robusto. She was struggling with that race car ahead of that last restart. Said that the left front was dragging, as well as that the steering got heavy. After the restart, she did say that the race car was loose. I see them assessing some with that race car right now. But it will be 4 fresh tires for Isabella that has already been placed on that car. She took 2 tires the last time. It does look like they're addressing the power steering, as she said that the steering got tight there. So we'll follow up as we see Isabella get back on track. And then Lawless Allen in the 20. He's been talking about how tight that race car has been in dirty air. He said he can't float into the corners, that he's driving it in as hard as he can. You saw him come into connection with Isabella out there and just said that he was loose from trying to go too far into the corner. But Lawless was telling me a different story today when we were talking about his runner-up finish in IRP. He said, I hated it. He said, I'd rather win half of the races and wreck half of the races. He's trying to hustle a truck ride right now and said, I know that teams and those running those teams are looking at this race right now. I have to capitalize on any mistake that the 18 or 28 can make. Caitlin?
Well, let's talk about Brent Cruz occupying the 2nd position, that 18 team. Listening into the radio, he said, just free everywhere. I need some more right rear stability. So Matt Ross, the crew chief, said he was going to take the adjustment he made before on the last stop back out and instead make a different chassis adjustment. What about Butterbean Queen in the 28, currently P1 on the leaderboard? Talked to Shane Huffman, one of the guys who's in a management role there, of course, at Pinnacle. And he said, yeah, he gave a lot of feedback, but the gist of it really is this. He's free through the center and a little tight on exit. So that is the updates there for the race leader, guys.
All right, good stuff. So the 28 continues to lead. By the way, the 20 and 8 and the 18 have finished 1-2 4 times this year, each guy winning twice. The final third of this race at Iowa when we come back.
All right, Phil, here we go. Everybody's got 4 fresh tires on.
Good as it's going to get right here.
Yep, good as it's going to get right here. I wonder the balance shift with 4 tires because they were on 2 this whole last run. You make an adjustment to your car based off of what you just had, but now you got 4 new tires, not just 2, so it'll be interesting who did the best job here. The 28 has consistently been firing better than the 18. I hope the 18 made a big swing at it to see what he can get off this restart.
But those crew chiefs with experience like Matt Ross and Stephen Dawson, they're going to also take in consideration what they did when they started the race on 4 tires, because they're back like they are with 4 fresh tires to start this race. There's Stephen Dawson right there, right side of your screen.
Once again, Butterbean will fire off from the outside. Brent Cruz in the 18, back up to speed and back underway here in the Atlas 150.
What a nice corner. A little bit loose by the 18. What a great corner by Butterbean in the 28.
Yeah, you can tell that first corner, the 18 just doesn't have the grip he needs to really fire. The 28 is ripping.
Robusto trying to take third from Lawless Allen from the outside. And the 55 with a good run off the turn, Isabella Robusto.
Look at Tyler Wright, that 23 car right behind this side-by-side battle, trying to figure out where to go.
Isabella did a good job pushing on that restart to give Butterbean a little advantage there. She did a good job staying tight, pushing hard.
And now the 23 of Rife door to door with Lawless Allen. Robusto clear of them both, and she moves up into third in that 55 car.
Rife took off like this the last run. He had a really good start to his last run, kind of faded at the end. We'll see if he's able to maintain all 43 here.
Now the 20 trying to return the favor. Gets underneath the 55. Lawless Allen. Good battle here for third once again.
Teammates in this battle for the third position here. Always a little bit more anxiousness when you're battling a teammate, isn't it, Austin?
Oh, especially for the team owner. The team owner's in the worst position there. They're just hoping that everybody makes it out the other side.
Lawless back clear of the 55, and Lawless Allen back into third place.
So Lawless got a little bit of an advantage, then used up the racetrack to make sure he was going to keep that advantage.
Slight slide job.
Tyler Reif doing a nice job hanging in there in the 5th spot. Laps are winding down now. They go quick here at 23.5 seconds a lap. Good middle of the corner for Tyler Reif and a good exit. Isabella lost a little bit of momentum in the center of the corner.
23 gets that left rear quarter panel of Robusto. She's able to hold him off.
As that 70 of Sam Court continues to get better and better as he moves in on this battle.
It just seems like the outside hasn't fully come in for these cars today. It seems like the advantage is big arc all the way down to the white line for the fastest cars. If you can get to the outside, you just don't seem to have the grip that you need.
Yeah. And it was definitely there last year. We saw a lot of passes made on the outside last year.
Loose there from the 70.
Big wiggle by the 70 of Corey. That's going to allow Mason Mitchell to pull up beside him in that battle for 6th.
He's got quite a bit of nose damage here, holding on in 6th place.
Ooh, contact.
See that one coming.
And sideways goes Mason Mitchell as he spins down to the apron. Caution.
Yeah, the 70 left it open there, getting into turn 3, and 25 tried to get all the way there and wasn't able to make it stick.
We just hope he doesn't have flat spotted tires. If he does, then he would have to put the tires back on that he took off either at the first stage or the second stage of this race.
Experienced a lot of cautions tonight. Season high, 8 cautions.
Watch the contact right there. Wasn't a whole lot of room down there. Sam came down the racetrack a little bit. He left him a lane, but they made contact. Here's another good look from the onboard.
Just released the brake maybe a little early, and
Yeah, Mason had a lane, I think, when he made the move, and then Sam was just trying to get down to the bottom of the racetrack. No malicious intent for sure.
Yeah, Sam was just trying to make angle. He was trying to make the biggest arc he could. When he got there, the 25 had closed the door, kind of.
Yeah, just slight contact. Unfortunately, Mason Mitchell's going to be the loser in this. He's going to lose all his track position. Hopefully, his tires are not flat spotted.
11 cars on the lead lap. Caution number 8, 37 to go.
The good news with 11 cars on the lead lap, you can come back up through there pretty fast.
We saw LeVar Scott do it.
Yep.
LeVar Scott got all the way to 5th. He's currently in 8th. The number 2 of Falcon gets the free pass. Eloy Falcon.
The Falcon's back on the lead lap. Here we go.
Watch out for the Falcon.
Next 3 ARCA races, we're at Watkins Glen next Friday afternoon, August 8th, 2 Eastern on FS2. Cannot wait for Watkins Glen. Going to be a very fun weekend. And then coming up Sunday, August the 17th, Phil, we're excited to be at the Illinois Fairground at Springfield.
Yeah, I was last there a long time. Back in the 70s was the last time I was at the Springfield Fairgrounds. And then a short track at Madison, Wisconsin. 3 tracks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Watkins Glen road course, a mile dirt track, and a short track in Madison, Wisconsin.
And how awesome is that as a schedule right there? Going all over different types of places, road racing, dirt racing, short track racing. I love it. That's what you love
consecutive
about
weeks
the ARCA
too.
series.
Consecutive weeks.
Now, Phil, when we're at Illinois, August 17th, you're getting us into Def Leppard the night before, right?
Got a little concert at the fairgrounds. Yeah, Def Leppard. We're going to have to check it out.
You were supposed to take care of those passes.
We're on it.
Backstage.
Oh, I don't know about backstage, but we're on it.
I feel like a graphic could be made of Phil rocking out at Def Leppard.
We got a couple of things in the hopper. I'm hoping we can get on before this race is over. We did find a picture. Just let our audience know that there is a picture out there of just how hard Phil plays defense in pickup basketball against Austin.
Yeah, and how fast Austin is too. By the way, that picture shows it all. We were teammates one time. He was my captain one year. Okay. We played in a league at Denny Hamlin's house, and we won the championship that year.
We did.
Impressive. Okay, here it is.
Oh, here we go.
Holy smokes.
And guys, I'm just resting my elbow on Austin's back. It's certainly not giving him a shot at all.
I'm always playing it up to the referees right there. I'm going to the foul line. If I just check up enough, I know Phil's just going to wipe me out. It might be a technical foul and 2 shots with the ball.
A flagrant one. Yeah. A flagrant one.
Look at his hair just waving in the wind. I mean, it's perfect. Where'd you dig up that photo from?
I think Phil actually.
My wife actually sent it to me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job, Marcia. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in and following along with the storylines and helping us produce tonight.
Yeah, just laying my hand there. I mean, it was not a shot in the back at all.
That's Rubbins Racing right there.
That's right. That's right.
All right, here we go. Butterbean back. Let's see if he can go through the gears again. You know, he talked about that first and second gear shift being tough. Hopefully he gets through it here, gets to turn 1. I feel like the winner of this race is the guy that comes out the other side of turn 2.
Yeah, get control of this thing. Get control of this race.
A lot of
or keep control, I should say. Yeah, for sure.
They're getting aggressive for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, too.
Wallace Allen, Isabella Robusto, they've been battling all night. Sam Corey sticking his nose in there. Tyler Reif, LeVar Scott.
And Brent Cruz is thinking the same thing we are. He's got to get the lead.
Pace car pulls off. 33 to go, and they come to the start-finish. Back under green here at Iowa Speedway with Queen in the 28. And the 18 of Brent Cruz.
Good restart by Brent Cruz. Will he move him up the hill a little bit? He moves him up, but look at Wallace Allen.
3 wide on the bottom. It's the 20 Wallace Allen on the outside. Jumping back to the front is Butterbean.
Great restart there. 3 wide. You can't ask for anything else.
I wondered if Butterbean would kind of use the racetrack, maybe go through the middle and move Brent Cruz up in actually the 3rd lane, and that's what he did. But he opened up the bottom. I thought Wallace Allen might be able to grab the lead there. There's that good battle back there, Austin, you were talking about for about 5th on back.
Yeah, LeVar Scott battling hard on the outside right here. He's used the outside a couple times to make passes. He's about the only guy that I've seen make consistent passes. He gets the momentum down the front stretch here. He's probably going to pull out a line.
He's going to get his nose inside of Tyler Reif.
See the car bounce around. It gets really rough on the inside there into turn 1.
LeVar able to hang in there. Let's see if he can beat him down to the corner here. Maybe do a little slide job.
Oh yeah, he's got the advantage now.
LeVar Scott clear of the 23, back into the top 5 for that 6 car. And now the 70. Here comes Sam Corey to the inside of Tyler Reif.
Sam Corey's really doing a nice job. Very little experience in a stock car on an oval. Started out in go-cars and made the move to micros at Millbridge, a place right near Charlotte, North Carolina, and then he actually won an USF 2000 race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway open wheel in 2023.
Doing a good job with that damage that you talked about to the nose of his car.
Great side-by-side battle here. Got loose across the apron.
The 70 door to door with the 23. Now Reif will slightly ahead. Another run into the corner. Corey dives to the bottom.
Isaac trying to get in this battle too right here.
And Reif knows that. The point leader in the East Series is right behind this battle.
And now Mitchell, who spun a few laps back, he's trying to find his way back in there in the 25.
Yeah, as the guy sitting there watching these two battle out, Isaac's sitting there going, man, who's going to win this battle? He knows the 70 looks a little better right now, and he needs the 70 to make that pass to move forward.
Don't get loose down there.
Hold on to it.
70 in the 20.
Look at the beneficiary.
Both sideways, and Mason Mitchell does benefit. Slides past them both.
Isaac Kitzmiller did the exact same thing. He got by both of them as well.
That's one of those things when sometimes it's a little better to give up 1 to not lose 3.
See Jason Kitzmiller now moving in on the 23 of Reif. And Eloy Falcon as well, yeah, in the 2 car.
He's flying around the outside.
I like that. I like that moving to the outside.
Yeah, use it.
Teammates to LeVar Scott.
We've seen Laney Bice in that 2 car a couple of times, have some nice races this season. And now Falcon doing a good job here in the top 10 tonight.
The top 10 in his Speedway debut at Michigan for Elo Falcon.
He's found the outside.
Oh, sideways, the 97 of Jason Kitzmiller, able to somehow hold on to it and get it back straight.
I think he tried to follow the Falcon on the high side, and he didn't have quite the grip. Confidence was high, grip was low.
It did not equal out. No, Eloy's going to the bottom of the 23.
Boy, Tyler Reif going in the wrong direction here.
Austin mentioned it before, same situation, second stage of this race. Really took off well, then faded a little bit. Same situation here.
Yeah, it's like some of these guys are really given high air pressure to get that takeoff speed, but as it goes long, it's burning them pretty bad. But I think the crew chief on the 28 figured that out early and has done a good job adjusting his car and made the 28 of Butterbean a little better on this long run. 22 laps to go.
Butterbean's opened up a little bit over a second lead on that 18 of Brent Cruz.
So it's Butterbean gunning for his 5th win of the season here in the ARCA Menards Series at Iowa. Back here at Iowa Speedway, race number 12 of the season here on FS1 in the ARCA Menards Series. 28, Butterbean Queen here in the Atlas 150, trying to finish it off for his 5th win of the year. 14 to go. By the way, the final lead change in the last 3 Iowa ARCA races came in the final 20 laps. And right now, Brent Cruz about a half second behind in that 18 car.
We saw a great battle last year between Connor Zilich in this 28 and the 18, that time driven by William Sawalich. They were beating and banging those last 10 laps of the race.
Yeah, I mean, these last 13 laps, I know Butterbean's wanting to go fast, and he's hoping that he doesn't catch lap traffic. That's what hurt him earlier in this race, and you can tell when he comes off the corner, he's a little free, but he's got a lot of speed in that race car. But this is when Brent Cruz makes his move, I feel like.
How about last year? What a finish it was, Phil.
Yeah, that's Connor Zilic on the 28 car, the 18. Multiple times there was bumps and bangs, and here's a late restart right here. Zilic on the outside on that 28 car. Sawallich on the inside. Zilic got it done.
Fast forward 1 year later, and you got Zilic, who's reeled off 3 straight wins in the Xfinity Series, including at the Brickyard last week.
Man, this battle is tightening up.
Got Jason Kitzmiller in between them right now. Let's see how quickly the 18 can get by Jason.
To the bottom goes Brent Cruz of the 97. 11 to go. Butterbean Queen with the advantage on the 18 of Brent Cruz by a half second.
We saw lap traffic close that lead down to about a third of a second just while we were away at commercial break.
It's a 10-lap shootout here in Iowa.
Yeah, I feel like there's one more group of cars that we're going to catch here pretty soon, and that's going to be a big portion of the ending of this race.
There they are right there. There's 4 of them right in front of our leaders.
And timing is everything for Butterbean and his spotter. They're trying to time and know which lane these guys are choosing when you get there.
And one of those cars is our lead lap, number 25 of Mason Mitchell. That's him right there going around that. Oh no, that was a bad move. Look at all the momentum he lost.
Brent Cruz is right there at the back bumper of Butterbean and moves him up the track. And they bump doors again, both tracking sideways for the lead with 8 to go here at Iowa.
If you're Butterbean spotter, you got to tell him to calm down here. You've got the lead back.
Just caught that lap car at the wrong time, and that lead evaporated in a second.
Yeah, a little poor decision. He had to get out of the gas, and when you lose momentum, you can tell how fast it picks back up. Did a good job being aggressive, though, and holding on to the lead.
Brent Cruz isn't going away, though. He's right there within about a half a dozen, 5 or 6 car lengths.
When you slide those rear tires a couple times, man, it is really hard to recover.
Might have been a little contact getting in the corner, and then more contact right there. Both of them sideways.
The battle for the lead inside the final 10 laps here tonight.
Nice save by Butterbean.
And pretty good job there by Mason Mitchell, letting these guys battle it out right there. Gave him some good room off of turn 2.
Butterbean trying to lap Eloy Falcon in the 2 car.
The lead is 0.3 of a second with 5 to go.
Nice gentlemanly move by Eloy to give the bottom of the racetrack to Brent Cruz. Butterbean saying, please don't let me run any more lap cars here in these last 4 laps.
He's got pretty clear track right now.
These cars are pretty darn even right now, but we talked about it. Austin, you mentioned whoever controlled the race was the guy that beat the other off for turn 2 on the restart.
You can tell the 28 had a focus on the short run, the 18 more on the long run, and the short run has paid off, and the 28 being able to just adjust their car, make it just that much better to hold on a couple more laps.
2.5 to go here in Iowa. It's Butterbean, the 0.4 of a second advantage on the 18 of Brent Cruz.
There's a couple more cars in front of them. They're hoping they don't get there, or at least Butterbean is, but I think he will get to these cars.
Less than 2 to go.
What he doesn't need is these cars to be side by side when he gets there.
Lap traffic to the very top. Goes the leader in the 28, Butterbean Queen. Brent Cruz is right there.
If you're Butterbean, you just got to keep the momentum up. Momentum is king, and if you can keep the high side rolling, I think he's going to be all right.
White flag in the air. 1 to go here in Iowa. Butterbean Queen with the advantage.
Lead lap car, Sam Corey right in front of Butterbean.
Down the back stretch they go into turn 3. Butterbean Queen for Pinnacle Racing Group. leads the 18, Brent Cruz, off turn 4. And Brendan Butterbean Queen takes the checkered flag in Iowa in the Atlas 150.
And he gets that short track win we've been expecting.
His 5th victory of the season, first on a short track, as our points leader extends that advantage here in race number 12 of the season.
You know, that's the 6th win this year by our full-time regulars. Last year, 20 races, not one full-time regular went to victory lane.
Wow.
And Austin, you said it would be determined by that final restart and then how they navigated lap traffic, and the 28 did a heck of a job.
Yeah, we talked about it all night. They fired off strong. They were able to hold on, make their car a little better each time they came down pit road, and Butterbean did a good job navigating traffic, learning from that first mistake, losing the lead, and being able to take home the victory. And I love seeing that American flag.
How about that dual side-by-side slide when they were battling for the lead there?
It was not easy there at the end for Butterbean. I'm sure his heart rate got way up there when he got in lap traffic.
Cruz won it last week, and IRP settles for runner-up here tonight at Iowa.
And guys, I know you're surprised that the 28 and the 18 ran 1-2.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we have another storyline though. Isabella Robusto, highest finish for a female at Iowa. I feel like I'm good luck. She did that at Talladega when I was in the booth. Now here at Iowa.
Exactly right.
She's piling up those records for a female.
Another impressive drive for the 55 of Robusto. She finishes 4th behind her teammate in the 20, Lawless Allen, but it's Butterbean Queen headed to victory lane for the 5th time.
He worked for that one for sure.
Did.
He won at Daytona, then Kansas, then Michigan, then Dover 2 weeks ago, and now tonight here at Iowa Speedway.
It was a good burnout. Still got smoke coming out of there. Can't even see him yet. Here he comes.
For the 5th time this season, Brendan Queen, a winner in the ARCA Menards Series. He definitely extends.
What an amazing job that Mark and Jerry Webb did putting this team together. They got Shane Huffman to be the architect of this team, and it's been nothing but great races ever since.
Butterbean's got great energy about him. Love seeing him celebrate.
Think he'll climb the fence? He's a fence climber.
Yeah, he is.
Why not?
One of the best drivers and one of the best young personalities here in the ARCA Menards Series. His 5th career win and his 13th start in the series. 27 years and 9 months from Chesapeake, Virginia.
Pretty good average, 5 out of 13.
I would say so.
Oh, yeah.
There he goes.
Gonna
There
do
he
it.
goes.
Interesting fact, 200 miles away to the nearest Waffle House for Butterbean. He will be checking in later tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
When he gets home, he's going to go. There's going to be a Waffle
you'll
House very
fly
close
home.
when he gets home, yes.
Bean Nation is going to be partying into the night as he continues to build his legend. Butterbean Queen. And Caitlin is with tonight's winner.
And you can certainly see Bean Nation in full force here, and the elation from Butterbean, of course, himself. It got pretty interesting there with about 8 to go. Some contact with Brent Cruz. How were you able to stay aggressive and get this win?
Just I'm going to let him keep running into me and not win. So he's got the best of me last week and at Phoenix, and was just refused to lose there. He might have been a little better, but just did the Folsom Fence Supply Climbing a race for my Folsom Fence family. Thanks to BRC, everybody back home, everybody at Chevrolet, Josh Wise, Scott Speed. I think they'd be proud of that performance tonight. Driven Sunglasses, got to thank the man above, my girlfriend Nicole for everything she does. Clear 28, ARCA Menards for giving us a series of racing, and you race fans, Bean Nation, let me hear ya.
We can hear them. And you and I spoke earlier today about the strength of this team week in and week out. How special is your group and Stephen Dawson, crew chief?
He's great, man. He's shy. We're trying to get him on camera, get him talking, and every week I hear him talk more words than the last week. So we're working on it slowly, but Bean Nation's contagious. You can't stay quiet for long. He's a bad to the bone crew chief, and I'm very thankful to be working with him.
Congratulations. And Austin Dillon said there's a Waffle House not far away, so you'll have a big celebration tonight, guys.
He broke the flag. He broke the flag.
We got a broken flag.
He's pumped up, fired up. Break whatever you want tonight, Brendan.
A bad to the bone. A Folsom Fence family, giving credit to them, thanked about everybody he knows.
Yeah.
He gives you your money's worth, not just in the race, but especially afterwards. A Reese's sweet move of the race, and this was the big save inside the final 10 laps.
For both, you see the 18 got loose, got up into the 28, turns him sideways, both sideways, inside of the 25 of Mason Mitchell. Great driving.
Yeah, it's good hard racing there at the end of that. I love it. I mean, I think that's what you want to see. That's what you come to see in the ARCA Menards Series.
Visit ARCARacing.com Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern to see who's crowned Reese's sweet move of the race. Butterbean headed to victory lane for the 5th time this season. He takes the Atlas 150. Here at the fastest short track on the planet, his first career short track victory in the ARCA Menards Series. Back with more from Newton, Iowa, right after this.
Hi everyone, Kyle Petty here, and welcome to General Tire Delivers, ARCA's greatest moments. If you've ever been to Iowa Speedway, you know there's something special about this place. Tucked into the heartland, it's fast, it's wide, and it brings out the best in the ARCA Menards Series. And when the sun sets over turn 4, you just know you're in for a show. And in 2015, the fastest short track on the planet gave us one of those unforgettable stories. Early in the race, the pole setter, Kyle Weatherman, and Brandon Jones looked like the ones to beat. But while the spotlight shone on the front runners, a local kid, Mason Mitchell, was methodically working his way through the field. As the race started to wind down, Mitchell found himself right behind the leader, poised for the final showdown. On the decisive green-white checkered restart, he made his move, diving to the inside of Weatherman in turn 1 and never looked back, holding off the field and taking the checkered flag, celebrating in front of family, friends, and the hometown fans in a race that he called his Daytona 500. I'm Kyle Petty, and thanks for joining me as General Tire delivers ARCA's greatest moments. See you next time.
Back here in Iowa, a glorious night as sun begins to set. The start of a huge weekend with Xfinity coming up tomorrow and the Cup race on Sunday. And Brendan Queen, we came on the air, as we often do, talking about the 28 and the 18. And you look at the top 10 on the pylon there, and it was Queen bettering Cruz on this night.
Yeah, teammates finishing 3rd and 4th with Lawless Allen and Isabella Robusto, and LeBar Scott bounced back to a top 5.
Yeah, Isaac Kitzmiller in 6th probably holds on to that points lead going into the final race of the East Series. Number 70 did a good job tonight with damage. And then Eloy Falcon in 8th.
It was Brent Cruz who won last week, his 2nd victory this season, settling for the runner-up position as the 28, and Butterbean celebrates in victory lane. But moments ago, Amanda was with Brent.
Well, as the crowd was cheering for Brendan Queen, Brent Cruz said off camera, that is the worst feeling. I'd rather finish 3rd than runner-up. And Brent, when I got over here, you were shaking your head and you just said you didn't have the race car to be able to contend when Brendan had issues there at the end. How handicapped were you out there?
I don't know. We had a really good race car all day. We qualified on the pole, had a lot of raw speed. Was really, really good that first stage. The whole Joe Gibbs racing crew did a really good job all day. Kind of missed it there at the end with going to only right sides in that 2nd stage, and then trying to guess at it for the last one. I just feel like we just missed a little bit there. And when I got inside of Brendan there and got super loose, that was kind of, I feel like, my last chance at it. Obviously, no intention of wrecking him or you know, we would have been able to there. So glad we just both got out of there cleanly. But yeah, I just want to thank the good Lord above for keeping me safe all day. I had a blast out there, as much as it stings to be able to lose a race like that. I'm grateful to be here with JBL Audio on the side, and my Toyota Gazoo Racing number 18 Joe Gibbs Camry was really good all day. But yeah, this one stings, and excited for Watkins Glen.
Thank you, Britt. Yeah, he was able to take a look at that replay during that Reese's sweep move of the day and shook his head during that too, guys.
Trying to come up with the back-to-back wins. Good stuff coming up just short, and this is the move we were talking about late in the race.
Yeah, got inside, got a little bit loose, had to use a little more racetrack, made contact, and Butterbean did a great job saving that car, as did the 18 of Brent Cruz. And you know, these guys haven't been together that much in the ARCA Menards Series this year. What, 3 or 4 times they've raced together? Well, remember now that Butterbean was a Cars Tour champion last year. Brent Cruz won 3 races in the Cars Tour Champions, so they know a lot about each other.
It's awesome. Gotta love Butterbean, huh? 5 wins. Tremendous interview, and they're going to party long into the night. And again, headed to Waffle House, and Bean Nation will meet them there. What a fun race here in Iowa. Fastest short track on the planet, certainly delivered in the ARCA Menards Series. Watkins Glen next Friday. Truck practice and qualifying 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. ARCA race 2 Eastern, truck race coming up at 5. Caitlin Vinci, Amanda Busick, Austin Dillons, and Phil Parsons. I'm Brent Stover. Austin, have a great couple of races this weekend.
Yeah, that'll be my second race by the time the Xfinity race starts tomorrow, and then we'll go ahead and finish the Cup race on Sunday.
So long from Iowa.